If your offer is stuck below 30K per month, it's definitely not a lead problem. I feel like most people say it's a lead problem. It's definitely not a lead problem. I've been on the back end of multiple offers that have scaled to $1 million per month, some that have scaled to multiple six figures per month, and personally published offers that I've done, gone from literally ground zero, no offer, no positioning, no personal brand, to well over 50K per month. And I've seen a few common things that keep people stuck at the same level. And most people think, it starts like all the way here with like number 3 or 4, but it starts with number 1, right? Which is just the offer positioning. If you're below 30K per month, oftentimes, you just sound like everyone else. It's like, oh yeah, let's make 10K per month. Like, people are buying this shit. I've seen that about 100 times, right? Like, you just literally sound, if you're selling Amazon, it's like, oh, make 10K a month on Amazon using AI. Oh, hit your first 10 or 20K month using this business model. Like, everyone else is doing it. You need to at least position it in a way where it doesn't sound generic and it actually stands out. So here's some simple ways you could do that. Number one is simply just naming the mechanism, right? So it pretty much gives you a proprietary approach that nobody uses. So for example, this is one that I remember seeing a while ago, but this dude, June Choi, right, sells high ticket closing, and literally I'm pretty sure they just changed the unique mechanism from just whatever bullshit it was before to hypnotic closing. A lot of the reels, the objection handles aligned with that. He was hypnotizing people. It actually caught a lot of attention, and he hit six figures per month. Even, for example, this guy, Austin Dunham, he's a dating coach, and he was always doing fairly well. But I personally know people who run this offer, and once they changed it from just whatever online dating to the Romeo effect, is what it's called, digital Romeo, it just brought people in, and it just gave it that unique feel to it, right? Which actually helps it scale. It helped the offer scale significantly. So that's just one example of how you could do it, actually naming the mechanism. Another way is just calling out a specific person, right? Actually, I know people throw out the word ICP, but actually being super granular on it. This is a funnel I was auditing the other day. His name is Dave Rich, and this is literally the messaging. Here's how anyone can build a profitable YouTube business and earn 25K per month. He has a super strong personal brand, so it doesn't really matter that much. But dude, if you don't have a strong personal brand, you're doing below 30K per month, and you're saying, here's how anyone can do it, you're fucked. So that actually applies as well once you actually start scaling on paid traffic as well. But you need to be very specific with who you're speaking to. Even with that, it's cool, specific results in a specific time frame. So here's an example, right? This is actually a program that I bought when I first got an online business, a trading program. What a shitty one could be is I will teach you how to trade profitably, and then cool, you time the specific result, the specific time frame, the unique mechanism. It says you will become consistently profitable within 3 months using the triple line method without risking large capital, following complex indicators, or spending hours staring at the charts. So that's what would go right over there, right? Same thing with that one, the hypnotic closing one. Close more deals and make more money. You literally sound like everyone else. After, how sales reps are closing 40% more, this could be even rephrased, how sales reps are doubling their commission, doubling their close rate, hitting a 40% plus more close rate, just different ideas, using the hypnotic closing method without these X problems that people deal with, right? So number one is really offer positioning, and if you don't have this down from the jump, you're cooked. This is what you need to be thinking about before you even think about actually scaling this. Because I was actually on an offer that was Amazon, and he was literally just copying what the biggest people in the space were doing. Literally just word for word, taking their ads, make money online with Amazon AI arbitrage. The shit got shut down because it literally sounded like everyone else, and it sounded like the people who were actually already doing better than him. So he's taking all the data from people that are already doing better than him, who are bigger, but where are they going to go? To the people who already have social proof, right? So this is the most important part to start with. Number two is lead generation. And really the biggest shift here is that producing content and lead generation are not the same thing. Content obviously brings in awareness. It's the visible work. But the lead generation is actually the invisible work that people don't realize, right? So again, posting is not a lead gen strategy, it's an awareness strategy. So you actually need systems to take that attention that you're generating and capture it. So, you could do lead magnets. So for example, you give them some sort of value for putting, you give them some sort of value, they put their name into an email list, you have many chat automations, anything along those lines, and you're capturing that data somewhere. That's how you're actually generating the leads, right? Say along the same lines, it's like, dude, realistically, if you don't have an email list or like any sort of lead magnet, or you're not capturing the leads in a CRM, it's just like you could literally get banned on Instagram tomorrow, and you don't own any of those leads, right? From there, inconsistent posting cadence. This is an example of an offer that's scaled to over multiple six figures per month. I'm pretty sure it did $1 million over the span of like 6 months. Someone I know is operating it, and they did it purely organically with 2 to 4 posts per day on Instagram and like 1 to 2 YouTube videos a week. So yes, there's a difference between just posting and capturing the leads. You need both. But like, dude, if you're sitting there wondering, oh, why is my revenue inconsistent, and your posting is inconsistent, and your CTAs are inconsistent, your story sequences are inconsistent, well, there's really no wonder why that's happening, right? And then from there, this isn't really necessary, especially if you're below 30K a month. It really does depend on the offer you're running. But I mean, realistically, the sooner you can get into paid traffic, in my opinion, the better. Like, you could even just mix it in with organic, because realistically, to actually have a reliable system, it's going to happen with paid. A lot of offers will start organic, they'll shift to paid, because obviously organic has a ceiling, right? But like, if you actually have good offer positioning from the jump, maybe you start with organic, you get some good client testimonials, you're actually posting consistently, there's no reason why you also can't implement this as well, especially if you know what you're doing and you have the right systems. Which really leads to the third point, which is the actual sales and marketing systems. So, maybe you're posting consistently, you got a nice little ManyChat automation up, you're DMing these people, really good start, right? But at that point, it actually comes down to having the right systems in place. If you really genuinely want to scale from like, 20, 30K a month, like 50 and 100K a month. And number one, and I see this all the time, is like, dude, there's no funnel. It's literally just like an Instagram bio with like a link tree or something like that. And then it takes you to like some shitty video. You don't really have any messaging. It's actually speaking to your ICP. Maybe it's just like a couple screenshots of some testimonials. Like, for example, even this one, like they're running webinars. Like if I just go to it, learn my proven plug-and-play system, 300 people plus have used to become consistently profitable option traders. This system has helped everyone from 9-to-5ers to, all right, see, even this could be improved, bro, because this system has helped everyone. Bro, you don't necessarily want to be helping everyone. But again, super strong personal brand. It doesn't really matter that much. And then, I don't know, let me just pull up some bullshit. Let's look at some random funnel. Look, this is one we're looking at, right? Install the Romeo effect. Get woman you deserve, increase your confidence success without rejection or wasting time. A VSL that actually sells. You apply for the one-to-one mentorship. It actually sells you the VSL. You go and apply with a good qualification form. And that's the beauty of how you can actually leverage a funnel to increase interest, especially if you imagine it. If someone's just watching your reels, they don't have too much context as to what you do, but then they go watch a VSL like that, and it's like, I helped this person accomplish this, and you're actually speaking to them, boom. That's how, even if they don't book a call right there, you're in their head, So, cool, no funnel, right? From there, again, a VSL that doesn't sell. Like, it's literally just you, like, oh, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. You don't really, like, you don't have that much specific social proof, no clear CTA, anything like that. You just don't know how to structure a VSL. You don't know how to go into the problems, agitate them, show the solution. From there, no application or a week one. So, like, again, if we go back to this Typeform, you can actually see the Typeform here is decent, but it does some qualification. This is actually one that we had built for a client recently. I actually still need to restructure this, but you can see this is an example of a good Typeform. A quick yes/no question, get some buy-in, easy. How would you describe your current dating app results? Whatever. What's the biggest reason in your profile? Blah, blah, blah. Do you have an Instagram? This one is actually super relevant for the offer specifically, but gathering some information. We're going to actually, get some, again, we're actually getting their email, right? Fuck off. All right. Anyway, we're actually gathering their information, and cool. What does success look like for you in the next 90 days? Future pace them, like actually bring their goal into it, and then you actually go into an investment. Now they're bought in, they're at the very end. Yes, I'm willing to invest. Boom. And you can literally qualify people that way. You can actually filter them out and actually understand who you're going to speak to, give your sales team context before the call even starts. As well as no actual pre-call page. Like, again, I'll just show you guys this one because it's just, like, simple. Like, I actually built this. We're waiting for him to record everything, which is why it's not uploaded. But it's like literally a video here that just tells them, like, this is exactly what you need to do. Like, go respond to the email. Make sure you watch the videos below. Show up prepared for the call in a quiet, distraction-free area. And then literally just FAQs that handle objections, warm them up, get them excited for the call, show more social proof. And this is the difference. This can literally, like, change the show rate from just like 50% to 70%, right? And let's say you're booking 20 calls a fucking month, right? 20 calls a month. That's the difference between 10 calls and 15. And if even one or two of those close, dude, that could be an additional 10K right there just for upgrading a page like this. And most people are, especially below 20K a month, are not tracking anything in terms of that, which we will get into. But really, again, like no CRM or pipeline visibility, like you probably barely know how to actually use the CRM, actually set up the right follow-up systems as well. So like, if you know the beautiful thing about GHL, if someone no-shows a call, you can drag them to the no-show pipeline and you can literally set up an automation that'll email them, once a week, which is value. And I've literally had people who don't close the first time, right? Because again, it says here, like most high-ticket sales happen on the fifth to eighth point of contact. So if someone watches a couple reels, they see the VSL, maybe they don't watch all the content, they don't close on the first call, you can literally just drag them over in GHL. They'll be getting emails, and I've literally had people call me before being like, yo, I'm actually ready to go now. Let's get this going. And it's because you keep following up with them. You don't just give up on them after they don't close the first day. And this one I see very commonly, especially with offer owners that are doing like below 30K a month who are running as themselves. They don't know how to actually set up the right... They don't know how to set up the campaigns in Meta. They don't know how to set up the pixel especially. So if the pixel isn't working properly, you're not accurately tracking the data on like, okay, we want this specific type of lead. You're not actually conditioning the pixel correctly to bring in the right type of leads. And if you don't know what a pixel is, a simple way to describe it is like if you have a store, right? The pixel is like the security camera that says, okay, who's coming in, what are they looking at, who's actually buying something. And then specifically for Facebook, you can take all that data and use it to like see, okay, who's buying it? Let's bring in more of these people. Let's actually track that data so we can know like who we actually want to be showing our ads to. So it's just like a simple example here of like what is happening when you like don't actually understand the systems. It's like you have a link in the bio, first of all. It's just a fucking mess. There are probably like 5 things in a link tree, whatever. 30 people actually click on your landing page and actually even like stay there and don't just leave right away. They go through and actually watch the VSL, right? It's 30% of people. Then, out of those 30, 10 actually go through and fill out the application. And out of the 10 that fill it out, 3 show and 1 actually close, right? And you can see by literally just, for example, just upgrading the systems. Because, like, okay, if you have a weak VSL, 70 people are dropping off. Flimsy application, 20 more people drop off. No pre-call page, 7 more drop off. And then no follow-ups there for the 2 people who didn't close. You only close 1. So it's pretty easy to see that like even if just like certain bottlenecks are improved, it could lead to more closes. And it's super simple. It's really like you just need to know what you're looking for and actually know how to track the data properly. So that's really everything in terms of the actual simple fixes. But really the last thing here, and I've seen this time and time again working with different offer owners, is really the mindset, right? And number 1 is just doing everything yourself. Like, you will kind of start to understand this stuff, but you're just stuck in the business, just doing everything yourself, taking the sales calls, doing the marketing, everything like that. And realistically, it's just going to keep you capped at the same level, right? Which kind of leads into the next one, which is just comfort. Like you're just comfortable, you're making the 20, 25K per month, which is honestly like for most people a really good spot to be at. And as a result, it's like, cool, I don't really need to take as many risks, don't really need to spend more money on the business. Just keep walking away with the 20 to 30K per month, which is genuinely like a good spot to be if you want to just stay there. But like again, that's exactly what happens if you want to stay there, right? Like if you want to go beyond that point, it's just like a certain shift of like you actually have to want it bad enough to actually take risks, take bets on yourself in the business to really actually grow it. And that's That's the biggest one right there. Just that level of comfort. So, cool. Really simple path forward. Make sure the offer is good. Make sure that you actually have systems in place to actually capture the leads. So, lead magnets, like cadence in terms of content. Potentially, you don't need to necessarily look into paid traffic, but that's an option. I'd say this is like super important because it's just so easy. Just getting a good VSL, good qualification process, good pre-call process, the CRM setup, any follow-up sequences, making sure the pixel is conditioned correctly. You can even have setters going in, messaging these people, just any automations, like automations into the Slack channel, so you can have more visibility into who's opting in, and really, not even like let go of doing it all. That's part of it, but just like, yeah, just really pushing for growth, like be willing to take risks to actually grow. I've been at a point where, yeah, sitting around 15K per month, not a bad place to be. We get really comfortable there. At a certain point, most people don't get into this game to just sit at 15K per month. So yeah, that's everything. If you're an offer owner, below 30K per month, you want some help with your sales and marketing, go ahead and book a call below, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.